Alright, today we're going to go over sandpaper, or wet sanding. And here I've got some 800 grit sandpaper. Just your standard 3M sandpaper, 800 grit. And what we're going to do is let this actually soak in some water first, so it gets kind of nice and soft. I already started kind of doing one side of this. As you can see here, it's a little bit dull looking compared to the other side. I kind of went here. So you can see it's kind of looks a little more anodized finish looking. If you actually get it wet, you can see the shine comes back to it, and that's usually how a gloss works. Just goes over the top of it so you can actually kind of see what's going on. So basically when we're wet sanding, what we're looking to do is completely smooth down the surface so that there's no bumps and dips in it. Let me see if I can find one here for you. There's a dip right there. Basically that's going to have to be wet sanded out. I'm actually have to shoot paint on the side once again because I went through here and I went through there. So anytime you go through the paint, you're going to have to shoot another coat, a couple coats on it. So I'll probably just end up taping off this area here and then reshooting the ear with 2 or 3 more layers of paint. So but let me show you here how this is done. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's scratches in there from the previous layers of paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 800 grit sandpaper and basically just make nice little circular motions. And you don't want to apply too much pressure because you don't want to go through all the paint. You're just looking to knock off the lumps and bumps and some of the scratches that are in the paint, just to get this thing smooth. A smoother underfinish will give you a smoother appearance, a smoother next coats that go on top of it. So, as I said, if you end up going through it, you're going to have to repaint the sections that you end up going through. So let me go ahead and wipe this down real quick here. See if I can find a rag. You can see I kind of went through right there, so I'm going to have to shoot another couple coats of paint on this to make it proper. So, but as you can see now, it's got that kind of anodized aluminum looking finish to it. So it's not a gloss anymore. It's a more like a matte. It looks like you end up killing somebody when you're wet sanding with red paint. It ends up getting all over your hands, and then you have to go wash your hands. You can use gloves as well. When you get to the final finishes, that's what I would suggest, because the oils on your hand can actually interact with the paint, and you end up getting some weird paint effects in there that you don't want. But anyways, that's basically how you do the wet sanding. It's basically just kind of smooth the whole thing down, and let me do the back here real quick. Sand it down with 800 grit. The next step after this would be 1000, 1200, and then I'd paint a clear on top of this. And then once the clear is done, that's when you start going into the higher grit papers, or the lower grit. So you'd want to do 800. I'm going to have to shoot this again, so it's going to be 800. Once it's smoothed out, then you shoot your clear on top, and then you'd want to go from 800 up to 2000 grit sandpaper. So if you guys have any questions or whatnot, let me know. It's pretty simple. It's just a lot of work. You got to sit here and sand and sand and sand, making sure you have enough water on there to make the paper glide easily over your piece that you're trying to paint. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But I should be doing some more of this type of stuff later today. I got to paint a couple of things. So when I get to that point, I'll be doing more videos. So if you guys like it, subscribe, like, share on Facebook, and do your thing. Thanks, guys.